So the risk becomes not just what's happening in Europe in isolation, or what's happening in Asia in isolation, or what's happening in the Middle East in isolation, or what's happening in South America in isolation, but it's the collective nature of all those things happening simultaneously that creates a greater risk for us than if we were only challenged by one major conflict. I am Dr. Joe Funderburke, recently retired colonel from the United States Army. My most recent positions have led me to the White House, Congress, and the Pentagon. When I was working at the White House as the Director of Strategic Planning, my office then was responsible for writing the NSS on behalf of the President of the United States. The national security strategy and the national defense strategy, and I suspect what we'll see in the national military strategy, they were all three of them together and collectively address our reluctance to get involved in another major war. But in doing so, it creates a space where our adversaries are going to operate in. And you will see more cyber operations that don't work to our benefit. We will see more influence campaigns, more coercive activities. We will see China be more active. And in the meantime, our allies are trying to build up their capabilities to address the gaps that we have created because we say we're not coming to their defense anymore. All we've said basically in Europe, using Europe for example, is you need to go ahead and contribute 5% to NATO for NATO's collective defense. Some countries are already at that point, but is that the line that we've drawn for them, right? And if our allies don't know where the line is, our adversaries will do everything up to that line, and they will keep testing those boundaries without tripping that tripwire that will create a major military escalation that involves the United States. Right now, it seems like our international relations is led by the sword. On one hand, we're offering a peace thing, saying, hey, we're not going to come to your support anymore. We want you to contribute more to your self-defense, and no more big wars. But on the other hand, we are coercively using the military to impose our will unilaterally in ways we haven't done before that creates its own other dynamic. We have other elements of power that we can bring to bear. We can't lead in all areas with the military first when the military is not the right tool to apply. Sometimes it's the diplomatic tool. Could we not have solved the issues in Venezuela using diplomatic tools? Perhaps we could have. Could we have done it in Iran without going and bombing them? Can we avoid an abundance of smaller conflicts in addition to a large war? I believe we can. I believe we can chew gum and walk at the same time.